occasion, an international occasion. Let's take a check on the teams for you then. And Newport County are unchanged from the semi-final second leg. Now the only question is whether they play with 3 at the back or a 4. We've gone with 3, but this could easily switch to a flat back 4. Podrick Hammond and Jamil Matt have scored 43 goals between them. Newport haven't had such a potent strike force since the days of Tommy Tynan and John Aldridge. Regan Poole's future is up in the air, one of many who are in the same situation here today. He's on loan back at Newport from Manchester United. His deal at Old Trafford is up. Mark O'Brien has grown his lucky beard again. It worked 2 years ago when he scored the goal which kept Newport County in the EFL. He's hoping it will pay off again. Well, like Newport, Tranmere are unchanged. James Norwood has been tearing defences apart all season. He scored 32 goals, but he didn't register one against Newport, who he says have been his most difficult opponent. Liam Ridehouse will hope to last longer than 48 seconds. That's how long it took for him to be sent off here a year ago in the National League playoff final against Boreham Wood. This midfield triangle is perfectly balanced with the energy and drive of Jay Harris and David Perkins, alongside Ollie Banks, who gets on the ball and pulls the strings. Well, it's time for Wembley to do its thing. Dream maker, heartbreaker, magical, miserable, life-changing, career-defining. The playoff finals begin next. It's the League Two playoff final. One team's dreams is about to come true. The others will be shattered. Michael Flynn and Mickey Mellon with the handshake before the battle begins. It's a beautiful day at Wembley, but it's really hot down at pitch level, and the players will feel that as the game goes on. The League Two playoff final at Wembley, just moments away. Newport County against Tranmere Rovers. The final instructions have been dished out. It's been a long wait for these two, Danny, but the waiting is over. The time has come.
Oh, 100%. And speaking to both managers, they said the players have been relaxed, but the majority of them could have played the next day. They've been looking forward to it. And like I've said previously, because of their previous experience of playing at Wembley, it's all about keeping the emotions in check. And both teams will want to settle down as quickly and get the ball amongst themselves.
Mickey Mellon with a few words for James Norwood, who didn't get a shot away on target in the 2 games that Tranmere faced Newport County in the regular season. And the fact we're mentioning that just shows you how well James Norwood has done this season. 32 goals, but Newport kept them at bay. Can they do it again here? If they do, they will go a long way to stopping Tranmere Rovers. Away we go. The moment has finally arrived. Jamil Matt beaten to the punch. Norwood looking to try and get involved immediately here for Tranmere Rovers. This is Wilmot. Ridehouse on the retreat. An incredible start for him last year against Boreham Wood. 48 seconds when he lunged in and committed the foul and was sent off. He was about to last longer than that.
Well, we've got an early test, Nigel included. Demetriou, he's got a very long throw. Newport will commit. Defenders and the physicality forward as well to create a problem.
Launched in by Mickey Demetriou. Jamil Matt rising. It's all about the second ball in those situations. Newport unable to pounce that time.
100%. Jamil Matt, a fair share of his headers, but he's just gambling, and nobody really gambles. And when he wins the header, he goes harmlessly wide. Just looking at Newport, you mentioned in the team news that they could play a 3 at the back, could play a 4 at the back with the same players. And they started with a 4 at the back. And when I spoke to Michael Flynn, he said 4 at the back makes us more attack-minded, whereas a 3 gives us more stability. So it's obviously Newport looking for a fast start.
Yeah, that shows you the mentality that Newport County have set from the off here. He tends to do that with us. When we think it's a 3, it is a 4, and vice versa. We'll get it right one day. Hammond giving chase to this. Monte trying to keep Podrick Hammond at bay. And he deals with the situation, but Hammond looking to leave his calling card early on here at Wembley. Another chance for Mickey Dimitriou to send this ball inside the Tranmere Rovers penalty area. Tranmere will know what's coming. Speared in again. Again, Jamil Matt was the inevitable target. This is Connor Jennings, who set up the winning goal when he picked out that man Norwood in the National League playoff final a year ago. James Norwood losing control of the ball, and Newport County have dealt with the danger for now, but here come Tranmere again. Caprice. A hugely experienced Perkins. Let's look at the referee from Ollie Banks of the afternoon, and Ross Joyce not interested in any appeals that came his way.
1 minute the defending Tranmere, and it was wonderful play. Connor Jennings picked the ball up in the left back position, and it's the movement from James Norwood. He got away from the two centre backs and found himself in so much room, and that's one of the things that Mickey Mellon's worked so hard with him. He said at times when he was working with him initially, he said that when the ball was coming to him, he wasn't too sure what he was going to be doing with the ball. Now the amount of work they put into it, and knows exactly what he's going to do before he receives the ball, and that's enabled him to take up his performance levels another level.
Well, he will have a few knocking on his door, one of many whose contract is up this summer. James Norwood, Ipswich Town, heavily linked. Swansea City were too before Graham Potter headed to Brighton. Gary Brabham brought him to the club. He said, "I will play you as a striker." Forest Green, who was playing wide left as they look to utilise his pace down the flanks. This is Regan Poole, comfortable at right back or centre back. He was caught late, was he? The referee having a look at it. The cross came in from Poole, but no one was there to pounce for Newport County. The attacking right back of Tranmere Rovers, Jake Caprice. Jennings, it took a deflection and flies into the arms of Joe Day.
It opened up for Jennings, and it's clever play because you can see James Norwood, he's now wanting to run away from the ball. That opens up the space for Jennings. It's a good strike, but it's comfortable enough for the goalkeeper Day.
Tranmere more or less have their own special designated parking space at Wembley now. They're on first name terms with the staff here. The fans ask for the usual at the bar. That's how often they've been here in recent times. It's just like the old days. This is the third year in a row that they've been in a playoff final here. They won it last year. The season before they lost, and Mickey Mellon reckons Wembley got to them. Jamil Matt lurking, appeals for handball. It's a free kick away of Tranmere Rovers.
Every time Newport, when they get the ball into the wide areas, they look to get the crosses into the box. You see it does, it comes off Nelson's arm. And very, very harsh to have given a penalty. I think he may actually have given a foul against Jamil Matt for pulling on Nelson's shirt.
O'Brien gets to it, but Jennings made life awkward for him. There goes Norwood, looking for Jennings, who is stopped in his tracks. Brilliant challenge from O'Brien. He had to make that count, and he did. Tranmere threatening. Newport backing off, and that's comfortable for Day. But Norwood and Jennings springing into action, and O'Brien made sure that that move didn't get any further.
You do have a very good link up.
That's Labadie. Not quite what he was intended.
Well, Norwood and Jennings, they link up very well on the pitch. What happens is you see Norwood, he's the one that goes into the wide area, and therefore that leaves the space then for Jennings to get into. But give great credit to O'Brien, because it's wonderful defending. He had to get it absolutely spot on. So it would have been a simple tap in, for Jennings, but once again, good link-up play.
That lucky beard again. That goal which he scored against Notts County 2 years ago in the last minute on the last day, which kept Newport County in the league, pretty much kept Newport County alive. They could have been facing oblivion again had he not scored that goal. That's how important it was. This afternoon, driving forward from midfield.
Nice run into the wide area. He's tracked all the way by Banks. He's just in it. These will always be a risk for Tranmere. You know, Newport, Michael Finney makes no apologies for his set pieces. They work hard on it. And the problem will be not necessarily that first ball, but who wins the second ball.
And it goes towards Amond, who's decent in the air. And Jamil Matt was flying in behind him.
You see, it's a good ball that's played in. Amond wins it at the near post. And Jamil Matt does get on the wrong side of Monte, but he's just not able to get the finishing touches.
Some partnership they have struck up between them this season, Jamil Matt and Patrick Amond. 43 goals between the two. That's Norwood. There's Caprice. Ollie Banks. Caprice again. Coming to Norwood once more in the middle, but unable to do anything with it. Wilmot leading the breakout. Manny Monte stepping in for Tranmere. Banks, who keeps the engine ticking at the heart of the Tranmere midfield. And a charging run forward from Caprice. These charges forward are becoming legendary at Prenton Park. Perkins. That's Sid Nelson, who did play a part in Newport's survival 2 years ago when he was on loan at Rodney Parade. Whitehouse, the ball had crept out of play as Jennings returned it his way. And Matt Dolan slammed home the winning penalty at Mansfield for Newport in the playoff semi-final a couple of weeks ago. It hit home to Newport that they had nowhere to train ahead of the final. Their usual training ground, which they don't own, is being refurbished. So their neighbours Cardiff City were the first on the phone to offer their stadium. That's where Newport have been preparing for this. And they put the finishing touches to their preparation at Brentford's training ground yesterday. Jennings. Caprice. The fact it did get to penalties at Mansfield was quite astonishing. The most ridiculous goalless draw I've ever seen. Newport missed so many chances. Conrad Logan was immense in goal for Mansfield. Mansfield had their opportunities too. But ultimately it was a shootout which decided Newport's fate. Guarding that ball down. Norwood again. Miscue from Poole. This is Jennings, who shaped to try and find the top corner, but was unable to deliver.
Once again, it's the movement of Norwood, but it's the player appreciation, because when he goes out of the centre-forward position, this time it's Banks that comes in, falls to Jennings, opens himself up. You can see he's trying to bend it into that far corner, but it's always rising. Tranmere's movement when they're going forward is creating problems for Newport in these early stages.
Podrigamond. Tranmere Rovers just beginning to find some rhythm in the opening 12 minutes at Wembley. Foul given away by Dan Butler. Chance for Manny Monte to move forward from the back for Tranmere. As they look to it's Ollie Banks who's standing over it. Monte is the target. Dealt with by O'Brien. Sent back in by Ridehalgh.
Well, Tranmere, they're always thinking of new ways, new ideas in training, and one of the things that Mikel Mellon wanted, he wanted a drone, but the club didn't have the finances to get it. He wasn't going to pay for it himself, so a couple of seasons ago, the first game of the season, they played Torquay. He was looking for a player to possibly get fined, and Norwood, he was the one. He got a second yellow card for putting the ball into an empty net after the whistle had gone. Michael Jackson's assistant turned around to him and he said, "What's he playing at?" And then Mickey Mellon turned around to him and said, "Don't you worry about it, we've got a drone." And the drone is now called Norwood.
So it's not just about the goals that Norwood has brought to the table, he's also helped by the drone. If you ever wonder what happens to player fines, there you go. Kieran Morris. Chance for Newport County to get themselves up the pitch here. It's Robbie Wilmot. Wilmot's cross. And was lurking again. Nelson dealt with it. There's Poole. Sheen likes to get on the ball and try and play, and he dug his heels in there and dug that pass out. And now it's Bennett.
He feels a little bit aggrieved here, Sheehan. He believes it is fouled. You just see he just goes down, but he gets the ball, wins it. Newport keep it live. It's a good strike from Bennett, but once again it's just always rising. So he believes there's a foul on him by Perkins. I don't think there's enough in that. But anyway, Newport did create an opportunity.
Demetriou doing the defending for Newport. O'Brien. Monte. Ridehalgh. Has suffered the back-to-back relegations with Tranmere, the double dip, which sent them into non-league. But they broke their fall, and now they are one game away from being back in the third tier of English football. This is turning into a scrap as Banks commits the foul on Jamil Matt.
I've seen a couple of occasions. It's how the centre-backs deal with the centre-forwards and the second balls. And once again this time, Jamil Matt just using his strength. It's a challenge from Banks from behind.
Wilmot swinging that cross in. And it was Nelson who was perfectly placed. Wilmot. Sheehan. Time to measure this. And measures that cross. And Zamandu is coming through the crowd. He scored with both feet and with his head, as we've seen many times this season.
And they've just got to make sure, Tranmere, when Newport are going into the wide areas, they're trying to do it on every occasion, trying to use the width. And they can't afford to drop too deep, Tranmere, so otherwise you're getting right on top of the goalkeeper Davis, and he then can't come out and try and command his area.
Referee just checking on the well-being of Sid Nelson. Loan of Tranmere from Millwall, his fifth loan out from the Den. Off the head of Butler. That's Manny Monte. Jennings, Poole swoops on him. This is Labadie. Sheehan, who will try and get Newport County playing, try and get them moving. Sheehan again. O'Brien. There's Labadie. Now Sheehan. Demetriou. Down Butler. Bennett. Butler again. Scott Bennett runs out of pitch.
Now, when Newport are in possession, it is becoming near enough for three at the back, because Poole, normally in the right back position, he is sitting, but you've got Butler who's near enough playing as a wing back at all times, and then when they lose possession, then he's getting back into the full back position, and what they're trying to do is get more players going through the middle to drag Tranmere's right back Caprice in. That will then leave the space for Butler to get into, and he's got great delivery and gets into the danger areas.
Well, these two teams aren't afraid to mix it. Newport can be direct. They work hard on their set pieces and throw-ins, as we've mentioned already. They can pass it around. And Mickey Mellon doesn't believe in all the talk of philosophies. Ideally, he wants his Tranmere team to play the ball out from the back, but if they have to be more direct to win the game, he will take up that route.
Yeah, he says ideally within his job he's near enough made redundant. He said what he loves is when he goes out into the training ground and he hears the players using the phrases that he mentions, because he knows that they're taking everything on board. But I think we're living in a period at the moment of snobbery in football. You know, people believe there's only one way to play the game. It's all about winning the game, and whatever that may take to get you to achieve your goals.
A long throw again there from Demetriou, this time down the touchline. Another chance to launch it here. Academy, Mickey Demetriou. I don't think he was taught by Glenn Hoddle the long throw. Pointing to where he did want it. There's Demetriou again. Matt using his body well to hold off Nelson. Butler. Another good cross from Butler. Perkins, loose from Tranmere. First real groans of the afternoon from the Tranmere fans at Wembley. Monte stepping in ahead of Jamil Matt. This is Perkins. Nicely done by David Perkins. He's played over 600 professional games. Such an important signing in January for Tranmere. Norwood unable to link up with his pal Jennings. As you mentioned before, Danny, they have a great understanding, a great relationship.
Yeah, they do. And I think what's starting to become apparent is that Norwood is more than happy to make the runs into the wide positions, try and drag the centre-backs out in order to try and create space, in particular for Jennings, who will come in. And if they keep persevering with that, it could be an opportunity where Jennings finds himself in a lot of space near enough in that centre-forward position.
Milmack flagged offside.
They do have a really good understanding, and very good friends off the pitch, and a great understanding on the pitch, as you can see from the assist.
It's incredible that Connor Jennings played in the playoff final a year ago, because a week before he was in hospital with suspected meningitis. He wasn't expecting to play at all, was called upon early as a substitute, and delivered the assist for the winning goal. And that was quite astonishing, unbelievable day for Tranmere Rovers in that game. I think Mickey Mellon's still running. Saw his celebration at the end, you know what I mean. Sheehan couldn't quite find the target this time, but he's looking to switch play. Here's Josh Sheehan.
Yeah, that's what they're looking for every time. In possession, I say Butler, he has a lot of work to do, because when they're out of possession, he's got to get back into the back four. When they're in the, when they're on the attack, he's the one that's then maintaining the width on the left-hand side, and Poole is just coming inside as a right back, just to give extra cover and insurance.
The first quarter of the contest has elapsed. We stand goalless. The keeper yet to be tested. O'Brien trying to get to that. Cool defending, and a nice switch there from Morris, who finds Caprice. Immediately looks up and tries to pick out Norwood. There's Perkins. Stopped in his tracks. Fair challenge, says the referee. This is Wilmot. And now it's Jamil Matt, seen off by Monte. Perkins. Molly Banks. Perkins again. There's Norwood. He's charging forward, and he's picked out the run here of Caprice, who wraps his foot around the ball. Norwood! Great stop from Day! It was at him, but it was travelling. Great technique from James Norwood to keep that ball down.
Yeah, it's a wonderful strike and a wonderful save as well, but great build-up from Tranmere. It's all about players off the ball making space for the teammates.
The first real opportunity of this League Two playoff final. And no surprise that it came from the boot of James Norwood. And if you've seen Joe Day this season, no surprise that he managed to get to it and keep it out. As I say, it was more or less at him, but it was travelling.
It was, and it was great connection. But this is, you know, those are the situations where you're talking about. The space has been created by the midfielder for the fullback to run into Caprice, and then he's caught it.
Right halves cross. Butler leading the Newport County breakout and looking for Podrick Ammon. The game just beginning to open up. Monte stands his ground.
We know how much attacking intent Caprice has. The space is there for him to go into. He does it. It's a wonderful pullback, and he couldn't have caught it any better, Norwood. And it's a wonderful save from Dave, because there's plenty of pace and power on it. To a certain extent, I think he was unsighted as well until the last second.
Well, he didn't have too much joy against Newport in the two league games, as we mentioned, in the regular season. But he was so close there to breaking the deadlock in the League Two playoff final.
And the goalkeeper Day as well. He's been one of the only fit, well, he's been the only fit first team goalkeeper Newport have had for a number of games.
Tranmere wanting the free kick, but not getting what they were looking for. Yeah, it has to be mentioned again that Newport don't have a substitute keeper on the bench. It's been that way for them towards the end of the season. They're able to bring in a goalkeeper on emergency loan. Michael Flynn does have a couple of options up his sleeve with the outfield players should anything happen to Joe Day.
Yeah, speaking to somebody that knows the club quite well, they think that it could actually be Demetriou. If that was...
Well, we've seen him be good with his hands already.
Exactly. Obviously, Michael Flynn will be hoping that's not the case and he doesn't have to worry about anything like that. Oh, we're having a drinks break. We mentioned how hot it is down at
at pitch level. And there is an example. The drinks break has been called for, so an opportunity for Michael Flynn and Mickey Mellon to get some instructions across from what they've seen so far.
Yeah, I think over the last 10 minutes the game started to open up. We've seen Tranmere trying to get the ball down and play, but then what they have to be mindful of, because they commit a lot of men forward. Newport, they've got players within their team that can pick that pass, go a little bit longer, and before you know it, Tranmere being on the attack, the next second they're then defending, so it is leading to an open game.
Well, there's Mark Palios, the former Tranmere player who bought the club. He was a midfielder in his time. He admits his stats improved though when he moved to Crewe because he invested in a pair of contact lenses, so he could see the goal better. But Tranmere's always been in his heart, and he did play a part in building this place too when he was chief executive of the FA. He had to find £21 million in 3 weeks to keep the build on course. He never thought he'd be here as a club owner, but he's getting used to it. The drinks break is over. These two finish side by side in League Two. Tranmere in 6th position, Newport County 7th. Newport unbeaten in their last 12 games coming into this. Tranmere struggled results-wise towards the end of the season, but Mickey Mellon was happy with the performances that he was seeing from his team, and they played teams in and around them towards the end of the season too. Wilmot wants it back, and he got it back. And Rovers bounces. Norwood using his body well. O'Brien. Bit of space here for Jamil Matt. Podrick Hammond. There's Labadie. Once off Tranmere Rovers. Butler. Hammond has pulled wide. Butler. He's dug out the cross. And there was hesitancy there from Tranmere, and it's led to this Newport corner.
Perkins isn't happy with Nelson, but I don't think Nelson was expecting this. He wasn't ready, he didn't know he had pressure on him, so he's taking the safety.
Robbie Wilmot goes over to take the corner. This a real strong suit of Newport County's. Demetriou at the far post being watched by Ryan Halge. Jamil Matt trying to shake off Monte in the middle. It's gone towards Demetriou. Scooped away from him by Harris. Forward by Reganpool. Tranmere looking for a flag. O'Brien waiting in the middle, gets his head on it. Hammond was in the vicinity, and Tranmere survived.
It's a good ball into the box when it comes back to Butler. And O'Brien stayed up from the corner, he wins it well. Possibly had been offside, it didn't matter because he went the wrong side of Hammond and he just wasn't able to affect it, to get it back on target. And that's what Newport are looking for. We talk about the balls when they do come into the box, it's who's most alert to the second balls, because O'Brien does really well to knock it down into a dangerous area.
Foul on Reganpool.
Sees the balls coming in. Jennings constantly looking at Poole. It's an obvious foul.
Difficult one for Regan Poole at the moment. Back at his boyhood club, Newport County. He's the youngest ever player, made his debut as a 16-year-old. Then Manchester United paid £100,000 for him. He's played one game for them, back on loan at Newport, and his contract is up in the next few weeks. Although United do have an option on it to extend it by a year, but he's waiting to hear. He's talking Manchester that maybe that won't happen. And how does the referee see this? It's Dimitriou who is being spoken to.
He's just carried on his run. He's not been able to stop himself. He's gone through Caprice. It's a late challenge. You know, it's the right decision of foul and just a talking to. The referee just trying to keep a hold of the game.
Tranmere on the front foot, over the head of Harris, away by O'Brien. There's Perkins. Right Halge. Banks. A little bit of afters there between Labadie and Banks. And Tranmere have got the free kick.
The referee, Ross Joyce, is just wanting the game to calm down a bit. You see the late challenge from Labadie on Banks. The referee doing the right thing, just having a word, just trying to calm things down.
Tranmere are a much more possession-based team when Ollie Banks is in the starting 11. They can play higher up the pitch. This free kick comes to nothing. Regan Poole. Jamil Matt. White Halge. Labadie, Perkins after him. The referee has seen it and played the advantage. Labadie left grounded. Monte took off to win that header. Labadie slowly getting to his feet. It's Sheehan. And Perkins being spoken to by Ross Joyce.
No. The referee Ross Joyce is having his patience tested. No doubt about that. This time it's a late one from Perkins on Labadie. I'm going to go ahead and say that the next foul could well be a yellow card.
Ross Joyce, the man in the middle here. Will be being watched by another official here at Wembley today. Jamil Matt. Labadie, Butler, Ammons alone in the middle.
Starting to get a little bit of joy down the left-hand side. Newport talk about how they're playing in possession and out of possession. In possession, Butler playing very high, and because Bennett's playing narrow, what that's doing then, and the likes of Ammons as well, it's dragging Caprice in, and there's so much room then for Butler to go into.
Here comes Mickey Dimitriou again with the long throw. O'Brien makes something of it. Back in by Wilmot. Labadie. Smashed away from him. Perkins, the man who got to it, and Norwood trying to cause problems for Regan Poole. There's Norwood again. He's gone the closest so far in this contest, and now he's got the free kick. Dimitriou again drawing the attention of the referee. Tranmere wanted to take it quickly. It's beginning to hot up on this hot Wembley day.
That's an initial mistake from Dimitriou. He's just trying to rectify his mistake. Norwood's just clever, plays it over his head. He's just obstructed.
Caprice with the cross. It's Perkins. No real problems for Joe Day.
I'd be disappointed, Perkins, that he didn't make more of it. It fell to him really nicely, really kindly on the edge of the area. You know, Very good technique. Disappointed that he didn't make more of an attempt on the goal and trouble Day more.
Well, both have been having a go. Joe Day with the only real save of this game so far. It was a good save too, to keep out James Norwood. Newport under pressure to keep hold of Joe Day, and the only way they will do that is by winning promotion.
You just have to be mindful. Newport are playing a lot of balls up to Jamil Matt, and that's where you just probably want Banks to sit in front of the two centre-backs. Then the likes of Nelson don't have to get involved in a fight ball. It means the two centre-backs can then drop off. Nelson and Monte, they can drop off. And if Jamil Matt does win the header, does flick it on, they can deal with it. And if he gets it onto his chest, then you've got Banks there as well. But too many times at the moment, the ball's being played long to Jamil Matt. It's either a foul for Newport or one of the centre-backs is taken out of the game.
Robbie Wilmot standing over it. Demetriou is trying to lose Ridehalgh in the middle. There's plenty going on inside the Tranmere penalty area. Matt had got free. It was O'Brien who was up in front of him. This is Labadie. Exactly a red carpet welcome from his former fans in Tranmere. The cross has been dug out though. Sheehan. Regan Poole, still plenty forward here for Newport County, but Poole unable to find him. He said Ross Joyce will be being watched by another official today. There he is, Mike Dean, huge Tranmere Rovers fan. And it was great to see the way he reacted to their win against Forest Green a couple of weeks ago. And there are a few who've arrived with Mike Dean masks on, by the way, here today, which is probably every player's worst nightmare. Seeing a few hundred Mike Deans around the place. Danny, as a former player yourself?
Apparently a few people got sent off the trains all the way down. No, like you say, it's the passion. You know, he's a Tranmere supporter, and you know, it doesn't matter who you are, whether you're a Premier League referee, you support a team, you go and watch them. There's nothing wrong with showing that passion. That's what you want to see from supporters.
The reason he's in football is because he's a football fan. Norwood being told to move further back from the ball. Forward it goes from Joe Day. Matt's beaten to the punch. Ollie Banks. These are two teams who didn't have to deal with the disappointment of missing out on automatic promotion. Newport didn't have the playoffs on their mind at all when they set off this season. Tranmere Rovers were just waiting to see how the season progressed until they set their target. So they haven't had to deal with disappointment of not making the automatic places. They're looking to grasp this opportunity of being in the playoffs. Perkins. This is Harris. Norwood got free again. That's the end where he scored a header to win the National League playoff final last season. He's not happy with the referee.
No, he's not happy with his teammate, Perkins. It's a wonderful run from Norwood. He opens everything up. He wanted the ball playing now, and he's through because he's left one of the centre-backs behind. The ball then goes in the wide area to Harris. He puts the ball in, and Norwood can't get over the header. He wanted the ball played initially. You can see he turning round to have a go at Perkins. And like I say, headers over the bar, but then still goes back to have a little bit of a go at Perkins. And you can see why he's saying as well, because it was a wonderful run. He'd split the two centre-backs.
Sorry, that was my just natural instinct there, because the referee was standing behind Perkins. It was aimed towards the referee. He's that kind of character, is James Norwood. He likes to play on the edge. He's a feisty, spiky character. In many ways, likes to be angry on the pitch.
Well, Mickey Mellon, his manager, said he reminds him so much of Jamie Vardy, who had at Fleetwood. He said he plays at his best when he's angry.
Harris. There's Labadie. Hammond and Matt are waiting in the middle for anything that may come their way. And Notting in the middle for... committed the foul on Caprice.
Seeing Labadie as the game's going on, starting to have more of an effect, making more driving runs going forward. I give credit to Caprice, he never takes his eye off the ball. And it's good defending. You can see Labadie just drags him down.
The same West Bromwich Albion youth team as Saido Berahino and Chris Wood. Josh Labadie. His presence really important at the heart of that Newport County midfield. Sid Nelson pleading his innocence, but the referee wants a word.
Nelson just trying to rectify the mistake he's made again. Just have to be careful, Tranmere, because they've given a few set pieces away in dangerous areas.
O'Brien gets his head on it. Labadie trying to make room to create something. This time it's Tranmere who get the free kick.
A bit scrappy in the last 10 or 15 minutes. No real consistent play. It's a foul this time from Sheehan, but because it keeps being stopped because of the fouls, neither team's either really able to get into the stride.
Newport have not played in the third tier for 32 years. Just the 5 years for Tranmere Rovers. The last time they were in League One, they were rubbing shoulders with the likes of Wolverhampton Wanderers and Sheffield United. How quickly things can change in both directions. We're into one additional minute. Perkins. Providing the option from left back. Sheehan across on the cover for Newport. Jennings, right house. Norwood. Caprice. Ollie Banks. Now Perkins, goalless at the break, and the reason it's goalless at the break is because of Joe Day. A fabulous save. It was aimed towards him, but he reacted brilliantly because it was travelling from the boot of James Norwood. Day kept him at bay at the break. It's Newport County 0, Tranmere Rovers 0.
Here at the League 2 playoff final between Newport and Tranmere, Danny Cowley and Ryan Lowe are alongside us. The two managers walking out at this moment in time. Ryan, who's the happier at half-time?
Well, I think both will be happy coming in at half-time, 0-0, but I'm sure now we just don't need a bit of frustration kicking in from both sets. I think for Tranmere they need to get the ball in behind for Norwood to get on, and I think as Danny's already said, his set plays could potentially nick Newport a goal.
Do we take a look at the weather as well, Danny? Is that going to play a factor in the second half?
I think it may do. It's very warm at pitch side, so both teams will struggle after a really long, hard season. To me, it looks like the first goal is going to be everything in this one, and I think Newport, I think 20 times this season have scored the first goal. They've won 19 of them, so they've got a fantastic record. It's going to be a close one.
Absolutely. Your commentary team for the second half: Danny Higginbottom and Gary Weaver.
Yes, thank you, David. Well, when you come to Wembley so often, it's less about the occasion and more about the match. And these two have been here quite often in recent years. This is the third time in 3 years Tranmere have been here, the fourth time in 7 years for Newport County. So it's not so much about the surroundings anymore. It's about what goes out on the pitch, what happens on that pitch. A tight first half. Joe Day with a stunning save to keep out James Norwood. And no changes at the break by either Michael Flynn or Mickey Mellon. Tranmere attacking the end where their fans are housed away to our right-hand side. Manny Monte makes his way forward from the back. It will be Ollie Banks who will take the corner. Swung in by Banks over the head of Kieran Morris. What changes, if any, do you expect to see at the beginning of the second half?
I think when we look at both teams, obviously you look at Jamil Matt, you look at James Norwood, and I think it's important with Jamil Matt, if Newport are going to get the ball up to him, they get runners getting around him, because that's absolutely vital, because he's so strong. He'll take centre-backs out of the game. And one thing I noticed in the first half with James Norwood, when he dropped deep, both the centre-backs, both O'Brien and Dimitri, would go with him. So therefore, if Morris or Jennings in particular get close to him, there's plenty of space in behind the centre-backs. But as of yet, the game's been so stretched, and the units, the midfield, defence and attack, of both teams have been considerably far apart, so therefore they've not been able to get the support up.
Bit of room there for Jamil Matt, and he's found Butler, who, as we saw in the first half, can cross with that left foot of his from this left-hand side, and he sends one in with his right foot that time. Pushed away by Scott Davis. And it's a steely challenge, looking to try and keep Newport on the front foot. Michael Flynn is the one-time postman who saved Newport County from a return to non-league and possible oblivion a couple of years ago. The relationship with Newport began when they were in the amateur leagues, and he was working as a postman, and later on he was planning on becoming an estate agent when a call came to return to the club as a coach. Some story that he has with Newport County, Michael Flynn, and it's not over yet. Penalising Josh Labadie. And once a word again with Labadie. And the message clear. Norwood. Labadie and Banks getting involved again. Ollie Banks, Labadie hanging out a boot. Wilmot charging upfield here for Newport County. Now it's Sheehan. Sheehan, seen off by a combination of Monte and Sid Nelson. Dimitriou again with the cross. Asking a question or two at Tranmere. This is Butler. Josh Sheehan. Butler. Swung the ball in again. Doesn't need too much room, Dan Butler, to dig out across. There's Connor Jennings. Right half. Norwood. The flag goes up. Good approach play from Tranmere Rovers.
He worked it really well. Watch the movement once again from Norwood. He drops deep, he drags O'Brien with him, that leaves a space. It's a very tight one. Very tight one, whether Dimitru been playing right, Haljon's side.
Ben Pringle being readied by Tranmere. So we could have an early change here. Looks like we will at the start of the second half. This is Perkins. Right house. Referee has seen the foul and played the advantage. This is Harris. Norwood being held down more or less. The referee turned his back to play because of what was going on behind him. Norwood was being held back by Mark O'Brien as he tried to get back to his feet. Maybe Norwood was doing a little bit of the fouling as well. Right house. Ball here towards Roderick Hammond. Conte trying to match him stride for stride. He's got back goal side and he's come away with the ball.
It's great defending. He's not dived in.
Jamil Matt. Flag stayed down and Nelson got to him.
It's mistakes that are leading to best chances. Nelson had to get it absolutely spot on, and he did. Perfect timing. Great challenge. Both teams guilty of making a few mistakes in the defensive area.
Jamil Matt struggling at the moment. He wants it to be his best season in senior football. Jamil Matt, who's been down the playoff route before, the likes of Plymouth and Blackpool and Fleetwood. And here's the change. Ben Pringle coming on for Tranmere. And off goes Jay Harris, who hasn't really been able to affect the game as much as he would like and as much as he normally does.
Yeah, and I think the thing is what you've got with Harris, you've got the energy, the pressing high. And what Newport have been doing, Newport have been looking to break any press, go over any press, so it's made it more difficult for Harris to get involved.
So Ben Pringle, who is being released by Preston North End, on the pitch for Tranmere. You know who is about to launch this?
Unfortunately for Newport, Jamil Matt not able to take part in it.
He's ready to race back on if he's called back on. In it goes from Dimitriou. Away by Monte. Fired back in, but wide by Wilmot. Jamil Matt back on the pitch. Norwood with plenty of time to bring that ball under his spell. There's Pringle. Again, that will concern Michael Flynn, the amount of time that James Norwood is getting to bring the ball under his spell.
Well, Newport just switched off. You can't be offside from a goal kick. And Norwood just played really high and the two centre-backs didn't go with him. And that was what created the space for Norwood.
But we've seen it a few times. We saw it with the volley he had. We have plenty of room, James Norwood. Can't give him that amount of room. And Tranmere can't keep giving away set pieces. With a little bit of sorting out to do before Butler takes this free kick.
Davis just wants his back four to be as high up as possible because he wants to be able to come and command.
Sent in by Butler, and Davis does get to it. Referee has blown his whistle as Davis was impeded as he tried to bowl the ball out, and the first yellow card of the afternoon comes the way of Jamil Matt. And probably not the way we're expecting the first yellow card to come here today.
No, most certainly not. Davis does well, holds onto the ball, just as he's looking to release it quickly. Let's see, Jamil Matt just puts his leg up.
Well, at times it's been bitty, it's been scrappy, so much resting on this for Newport County and Tranmere Rovers. The long, brutal slog of 10 months has led to this day, where everything is on the line. Labadie again, who's committed the foul.
Chance for Tranmere, set piece of their own. See Jennings just drifting off the left, right over. Late challenge. Labadie just goes into the back.
Ben Pringle, who spent the first half of the season on loan at Grimsby, now finishing it at Wembley, and he's standing over this. Up in by Pringle, and helped on its way by Joe Day, who wasn't taking any chances.
I don't think it was Pringle intention. It was enough to trouble Day, didn't want to take any chances.
Tranmere fans find their voices again. A real scrap going on in the middle involving Norwood and Butler. In it goes, and the thumping header away. It was Dimitri who got to it. Back in by Pringle. That's Nelson. I tell you what, there's some scrap going on between James Norwood and Dan Butler in the midst of all that. Wilmot for Newport County. Podrick Hammond waiting. And committing the foul.
I think Nelson, we've seen more often than not when balls are coming into the box, he's dealing with them well. His positioning has been spot on. Balls are coming in more often than not. Looking the player getting on the end of it. Always see he's got his eye on the ball and the man. He's able to get there ahead of Hammond.
And a bit of cramp there, which followed for Sid Nelson. Norwood leaves it for Banks. There's Norwood again. Perkins. There's Kieran Morris. Perkins again trying to pick up the baton. Morris once more. And this time it's he who is left grounded. Now the team able to really find any rhythm. Kieran Morris. Great challenge made on him. Again, it was Dimitri with it.
And it's good from Dimitri. As Tranmere took the quick corner, he's aware though, he's alert. There's not many of his teammates were. And took any power off the shot.
Hammond. Butler. Nelson with the challenge. Labadie holds his head.
It's a chance. Labadie has got great quality, he's got great timing coming into the box. falls to him nicely, he just stuffs it, he knows it's a chance, and you can see from his reaction, there's only a half clearance from Nelson, it was harmlessly wide.
Off the head of Norwood. Another free kick. And this is in a real position of threat.
That's what you want. When the ball goes up to Norwood, gambling behind. And it's exactly what Jennings does. And it's a foul on Newport's captain O'Brien, and as I said, this is a great opportunity for Tranmere to test Day in goal.
Well, he's had the one big test so far, Joe Day, and he passed that test. Pringle and Rydhowes with eyes on this one. Norwood trying to stand behind the wall. It looked like he was trying to block the goalkeeper's view. Day has left a big chunk of his goal to his left. Rydhowes, the wall stood firm, away by Butler. This now is Banks. Nelson. Butler having a look over his shoulder, and the ball safely bounces behind. Well, he may be from Glasgow, but Mickey Mellon has Tranmere in his blood. He was a player at Prenton Park. He wore that badge with pride during 2 spells. He played in the second tier with them. He knows what makes the club tick. And he's helped rebuild a broken club on and off the pitch, but says he only continued the work that was started by Gary Brabin. Tranmere is the kind of club that once you wear that shirt, you never take it off. It does stay with you. Pat Nevin's been talking about when he was offered the opportunity of staying on permanently at Tranmere or moving to Galatasaray. He chose to stay at Tranmere. Patrick Hammond getting involved. Jamil Matt, Rydhowes pounced upon him. Bennett. Cool's cross. Butler will keep it alive here. Sent back in by Butler. Nelson getting to that, that's Kieran Morris. Now the break could be on here. Perkins and Jennings running into each other. This is Norwood, who's all alone at the moment. Pringle is trying to get up there with him. Norwood ran into trouble but retained possession. Caprice. He's determined to make sure that this season is not just a one-off in terms of the numbers he's hit. 32 goals for the campaign for James Norwood. There's Caprice. Jennings. Isn't a bad area that he hit. The patrolling it was O'Brien. Caprice. Tranmere looking to build some momentum in the Newport County half. To build a platform here. Caprice. Dropped in nicely to Jennings, who ran out of pitch. Nice idea though.
It's good movement initially from Jennings. He lays the ball off. He's not prepared to wait. Just gets on the wrong side of Dimitru. It's just the first touch was just too heavy and out of play. The initial work though, just in his chest, just too heavy. Good movement to get away from Dimitru.
That's Perkins. Monte stayed down after he and Jamil Matt are coming together.
physical battles all over the pitch and none more so. And this one with Matt and Monte. It's a painful one for Monte, but I don't think there's any real intent. And Jamil Matt constantly got his eyes on the ball.
He's being linked at the moment with the vacant manager's job at Swansea City. Against the likes of Jurgen Klopp, Thierry Henry and Mikel Arteta as friends. He's one of Britain's up-and-coming coaching talents. He's in the same class as Henry, Arteta and Freddie Ljungberg as they study for their badges at the Welsh FA, and they keep in touch on a regular basis. He's a big Liverpool fan. He's still waiting for Champions League final tickets. So sometimes when you do have friends in high places, such as Jurgen Klopp, he did go up and watch Liverpool train at Melwood a few weeks ago. Still can't get tickets for the Champions League final yet. On that messaging group that he's involved with Henry and Arteta and Ljungberg, they bounce around ideas. Stay in touch, and he's had a few good luck messages from them coming into this contest today. No nonsense, I think you can call that from Mark O'Brien, and it looks like a card is coming his way.
Totting up more than anything. There's been a few fouls. Look, O'Brien, he does at times, he's come beyond his midfield to come and win the ball of Jennings. I don't know when he just puts both hands on his back, so he has to be mindful now, especially with Norwood. He has to get around him.
Ollie Banks with a free kick. Pringle will try and keep this interesting for Tranmere. Right Halge. Plenty of elevation on that. Norwood again in combat with Demetriou. Caprice will back himself for pace. Butler gets there ahead of him. Jake Caprice. Trying to shake off Podrick Hammond, and he has done. Perkins. Jennings. Morris is waiting to pounce the referee. He's around about 10-15 yards away from that incident as Kieran Morris hit the deck. Hammond. Monte. Right Halge. There's Pringle. Jennings a little bit closer now to James Norwood. Those two in tandem for Tranmere since that change was made, with Ben Pringle coming onto the pitch, replacing Jay Harris.
Yeah, well, Pringle's gone over to the left-hand side. Jennings initially wasn't. Jennings now coming as a number 10 and just getting closer to Norwood.
It is his more natural role. Connor Jennings playing in the hole behind the striker. Over the head of O'Brien, who misjudged that. This is Pringle. O'Brien's out of position. There's Jennings. Norwood. Jennings. Taken away from him by Butler. A matter of margins.
It just wouldn't fall to him. But when you're talking about space behind the centre-backs, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Norwood, he drives out wide. That then drags the centre-backs out wide. Jennings carries on his run. He's just not able to get out of his feet, and it's fantastic covering from Butler, who comes all the way across from left-back. But there are spaces for Tranmere, and they are attacking, especially directly through the middle. See a challenge from Butler. He's very fortunate. He's making a challenge from the wrong side of the player.
Podrick Hammond. It goes beyond Wilmot. Halge did enough to nudge that ball away. Well, big call, big call.
It's a huge call because from a full-back's perspective, it's the worst position to be when you're on the outside of your play. And when you make that challenge from the outside, penalties can be given. Could well have been a penalty. And the more you see it, the more I believe it should have been a penalty because you're making a challenge from the wrong side of the player. Butler was probably fortunate not to give a penalty away.
I wonder if Mike Dean is sending a text as we speak. There's Norwood. Demetriou. Jamil Matt. Wilmot joining in the attack. He's got Regan Poole on the outside. Wilmot seen off by Ridehalgh. Signs that the game is getting stretched now. Change imminent from Newport County. Matty Dolan will be coming on shortly, who scored the winning penalty in the shootout at Mansfield. His dad told him to never take the fifth penalty in a shootout. He didn't listen, but he scored it. Demetriou with that throw in over the head of Matt. Ammon trying to make life awkward for Tranmere. Two covering for Newport. One of those was Dan Butler, who may have injured himself, and tidying things up.
And he had to get the communication right. Butler and Poole, because they were both going for it. And Poole just leaves it for Butler to come through and make the clearance. Got injured off his own player, no intent whatsoever. And Jennings, good defending and good communication.
Jennings. Wilmot. Looks like the change is about to happen. Matty Dolan coming on for Josh Labadie, so that will be a straight swap at the heart of the Newport County midfield. Matty Dolan, who had his big moment earlier this season in the FA Cup when he levelled up at his boyhood club Middlesbrough. They have such great cup pedigree in the last few years on the Michael Flint and Newport County, and that is what this is today, a one-off final for a place in League One.
What you find with Dolan coming onto the pitch now, Newport will be looking to get the ball to him. He can pick a pass. He really does want to get on the ball and create opportunities for others. Newport on the front foot.
Ridehalgh rising the highest. Butler, who's had an impressive game at left back. Another teasing cross, and it was kicked out somehow. Jamil Mack got to it. Davis was guarding the near post, and whether it was him or the post, Tranmere have survived.
The whole of Tranmere's back four switched off at a crucial time, and he got away with it.
Well, how many times have we seen those deliveries from Dan Butler down the left-hand side for Newport County today? Sheehan.
The whole of Tranmere's back four, they just back off, leaving it to one another. It's a wonderful ball in from Butler. And the one man that doesn't switch off is Davis in goal. That is an outstanding save, outstanding reactions. Not only once to tip it onto the post, but then the second time to get it out of harm's way. What a save.
The throw in from Demetriou. That's how close Newport County were to hitting the front in this playoff final. Strange one from Monte. Demetriou. Hammond was trying to make an impact at the far post this time. Wilmot. Matty Dolan. Tranmere struggling here. We've seen that from Jamil Matt before. This time, though, he couldn't find the target.
Newport starting to ask a few questions themselves now. Nelson, slight hold. And Jamil Matt's shirt, but not enough. You see, hold the back foot, they leave it for each other. One thing Jamil Matt doesn't do, he's anticipating where it's going. Like I say, the save from Davis. It's near enough a double save, because then he has to react a second time to get out of harm's way. Only the goalkeeper has been asked too many questions this game. It's a sure sign and a good sign of a very good goalkeeper. When you're asked to come into action, you deal with it, just like Davis did then.
He won the Golden Glove in League Two this season, Scott Davis, for the most clean sheets, 19 in the regular league season. And that Golden Glove has just come up with a golden touch to keep out the men in amber.
I think he holds a club record with Eric Nixon as well in the 88-89 season. It's very esteemed company.
It's at that end where both keepers have been called into action. Joe Day in the first half to deny James Norwood, and then Scott Davis then playing his part, a big part, to keep out Jamil Matt. It's that time in the game. Time of the day.
He doesn't want to watch. I thought the scarf I'm going to go down completely over the eyes, the nerves starting to set in.
There was more pressure on Tranmere last year in the playoff final to get out of non-league football. And here they are standing with this opportunity in front of them to get themselves back into the third tier. That's where the fall began. Referee about to show David Perkins a yellow card.
Let things go for as long as possible. Don't believe for 1 second. He's just got the yellow card for that challenge. And quite a few challenges for a number of players. I'm sure that Ross Joyce, the referee, will just be keeping them in mind.
Caprice. Dimitriou. Jamil Matt's done well again. Butler was surrounded, but he's done brilliantly here, Dan Butler. He is having a fine afternoon. Nelson got to him that time.
Yeah, he's starting to have more and more of an impact as the game's going on. Starting to control that left-hand side. Trying to have to get out to him quickly, because as we've already seen, the opportunity for Jamil Matt. Wonderful distribution, getting the crosses into the box.
Here comes Dimitriou again. Tranmere Rovers having to dig in here, along with Newport County, but it should be a walk in a North London park for these Tranmere players compared to what Mickey Mellon put them through a couple of weeks ago. He got the SAS in to take training and to interrogate the players and ruffle a few feathers. He's got previous for doing that. He did the same at Shrewsbury. But he seems to follow at the feet. He's just had a word there with Steve McNulty. Well be the next substitute to enter the pitch. Jamil Matt just beyond Dolan. Podrick Hammond. It's Hammond. Davis gets down to it. Kieran Morris. Jennings gets away from Pringle. Sheehan. Regan Poole. Jamil Matt. Caprice was back defending, and the handball appeals, which came more from the crowd than the players, are waved away by referee Ross Joyce. 10 minutes away from extra time.
There's a handball shout from a few Newport players and supporters. Jamil Matt is just trying to create space for himself. Very harsh of a penalty was given. I think that's what needs to be cleared up as well, and is going to hopefully be cleared up next season, the handball, because there are so many grey areas within it.
It's certainly changing a little bit again, as we've seen in the Champions League this season.
I think it leads to a bit more debate.
I'll wait for your calls. Mentioned extra time, Newport County had to face extra time and a penalty shootout to get through to the final when they saw off Mansfield Town. Tranmere edged past Forest Green, who in both ties had a man sent off in the playoff semi-final. There's Morwood, who ultimately stood the winning goal in that tie. Caprice gets the delivery, the cross in the box this time. We have seen some good crosses from the fullbacks here this afternoon. So here comes Steve McNulty, who is the Tranmere Rovers club captain. 5 promotions on his CV with 4 clubs, and he replaces Kieran Morris. So on comes Steve McNulty, who used to captain the Liverpool under-19s team before being released by the Anfield club. He's straight inside the Newport County penalty area. It was over his head. Ridehouse. It was only Bantz who met it. Pringle tidying up.
Tranmere turned in. They've actually gone with 3 at the back themselves, with Nelson, Monte, and obviously McNulty just in the middle. Looks very much like that's the case, and then the 2 wing backs being Caprice and Ridehouse.
He does make big in-game decisions, does Mickey Mellon. There's Pringle, one of his substitutes. Pringle was stretching, he's back on his feet now. Newport swarming around him. And now it's Jennings. You can only find the Tranmere Rovers fans.
They defend him more often than not from both teams. He's been great. He really limited the opportunities, throwing the bodies in the way. And then when it does fall to Jennings, it just doesn't fall quick enough for him. He has to hit it, I think, earlier than what he would have liked. Wasn't able to get over the ball. Some of the pressure.
Well, both have had plenty of efforts, but when asked a question, both keepers, Joe Day and Scott Davis, have come up with the answers. There's the experienced head of Lenny Lawrence, who was a mentor for Michael Flynn on his coaching course, and he's took him with him to Newport County. Podrick Hammond.
When we look at Tranmere going to a 3 at the back, that means then when Jamil Matt does drop off, it means that McNulty, one of the centre-backs, can go with him, and then there's not huge spaces in behind. I think that's part of the plan, is to make sure that there's not runners getting in behind, so they've always got 2 in reserve, Tranmere, defensively, if balls do get passed over the top.
Well, Mickey Demetriou is covering the ground here at Wembley today, as he goes over to take another long throw. That one was really speared in. Jamil Matt got away from McNulty. Monte's challenge, and it's off the post, but the referee has blown for offside. Newport want a penalty. Matt hit the deck. Wembley held its breath. And it looked like a penalty was about to be awarded, but it's an offside.
I thought that was the first thing a penalty was going to be given. Jamil Matt, as he goes through, he's given offside. He's given offside against the player the ball goes to. But as you can see here, could possibly be a penalty. As you can see, the left leg from Monte. I think the linesman's flag has come to Tranmere's rescue.
Well, as you say, the offside flag went up. I think it was Mark O'Brien on that far side. But Jamil Matt was caught there by Manny Monte. Tranmere had a penalty appeal turned down earlier on in the half. Now it's Newport's turn to complain. This is Jennings. Space here for Pringle. It's Pringle who was pounced upon by Dimitriou. Newport got to him eventually.
Well, it was a huge call by the assistant referee. I think it ends up being the right one. Because what you're looking at is Jamil Matt, as he plays the ball, that's when the linesman, the assistant referee, puts his flag up for offside before the foul is committed from Monte and Jamil Matt. And they've come up with the correct decision.
Don't think he agrees with you, Jamil Matt. But of course he hasn't seen what we've just seen there. But that was close. It's Nick Barnard with the flag on that far side.
It's a split-second decision. It's the foul just being committed after the pass has gone. Like I say, so close.
It's edgy, it's tense, it's nervy at Wembley. Still, it's deadlock. Smiles on the face of the Amber Army. Monte. Dimitriou. Banks jumping in to Dolan.
Once again, foul this time. It's from Banks and Dolan. Another opportunity. Butler, who we've seen on a number of occasions, has a great left foot.
A little bit different this time from Butler. Dimitriou was lurking. McNulty got to it. Swept in by Dan Butler. Dolan trying to make an impact. This is Perkins. Two minutes for someone to write their legend in normal time. Well, we are heading to extra time to decide the League Two playoff final.
I've got to say the last 15 minutes definitely been Newport. Not been able to take advantage. A couple of good chances.
Well, these Tranmere fans know that their team does not do it the easy way. Monte and Matt in combat again. Podrick Hammond trying to twist away from McNulty. Still trying to get away from McNulty, but he couldn't get away from McNulty. And again, Newport appealing for a penalty, and at the other end, Norwood goes down. O'Brien's challenge on him. The referee across on the scene to break up the coming together of O'Brien and Norwood, and that's his second yellow, and he's off. Newport County down to 10. Mickey Mellon shakes the hand of Mark O'Brien. He made the decision to take out James Norwood. As soon as the referee saw it that way, he was in trouble.
Now, 1 second. Newport supporters are asking for a penalty and a foul for McNulty. The next minute, they're losing their captain O'Brien. it's the correct decision. Norwood gets on the wrong side of O'Brien. The only way that O'Brien can stop Norwood is to bring him down. It's a good decision from the referee, Ross Joyce.
Well, Tranmere fans know more than most that being down to 10 men sometimes does not affect teams. Away by Wilmot. Tranmere, let's not forget, had Liam Ridehouse sent off here a year ago after 48 seconds, but still managed to win the playoff. Newport now are in the same position, albeit much later on in the piece. Caprice with the cross. And Ruben Paul will watch it bounce behind. We are into 5 additional minutes. The 10 men of Newport County against Tranmere Rovers, who have their full complement. And we're down to 5 additional minutes.
Bennett's just dropped in to the centre of defence. It's a position that he has played before. That won't be a problem.
They are rousing their team at both ends of Wembley. But you're right, Scott Bennett is naturally a centre-back. Caprice again. Wilmot. Monte. Monte again. Away from Hammond. Norwood with eyes on that and a foot on it, but he couldn't direct it on target.
It's a great run from Norwood. It's a good ball as well. And he does get there first. He's just not able to get the right contact to get it on target. Give credit to Day. He comes out as quick as he can. An opportunity for a player like James Norwood, and finishing that he's capable of, and the goals that he scored, he'd be disappointed he wasn't able to get it on target.
Ridehouse. Stolen away from Norwood that time. There's Monte. Well, it's a hot, draining day down there at pitchside at Wembley, and Newport County heading towards extra time with 10 men as it stands, and Tranmere have just turned the ball over there. He will be hoping that that won't be costly. Norwood on the move again. He's always on the move. Kept at bay that time. Dolan. Robbie Wilmot. There's McNulty.
Chance very late in the game. Demetriou. Arms are probably more tight than his legs, the amount of throw-ins and he's put in. All it takes is one.
Launched in by Demetriou, away by Davis. Pringle. That's Butler. Ball had gone out. Dimitriou on the launch pad again. Dolan trying to make an impact. Referee's played the advantage after the foul by Sheehan. All were giving chase, but the ball evades him. One moment now wins this. Oh, we're heading to extra time. McNulty with the header away. Caprice. It will be extra time in the League Two playoff final. Michael Flynn with plenty of work to do. His Newport County team are down to 10 after his captain Mark O'Brien was sent off for a second yellow. Big penalty appeal in that too, but Joyce turned away. We stand at 0-0 after 90 minutes. Extra time is on the way next.
Welcome back, 0-0 after 90 minutes of this League Two playoff final. Newport County are down to 10 men. We are going to go into extra time very shortly indeed. Ryan Lowe and Danny Cowley are alongside me, but Danny Cowley, should Newport have had a penalty?
Yeah, I think it's a penalty. Jamal Mack does really well, draws the tackle, and before it's offside, it's a foul. So it's a foul in this moment.
So do we think Jamal Mack, because he gets brought down, he's going to get that next touch if he stays on his feet, doesn't he?
Potentially he can get to the next touch, but it's a foul here, isn't it? So before he's offside, it's a foul.
Ryan?
Yeah, listen, as a striker, you want them fouls, you want a penalty. It's light-hearted, he's touched his stud's gone onto his boot there, if you like. But then the linesman put the flag up, so where'd you call it? Is it a penalty? Is it offside?
It seems to be a quick reaction from the linesman that side,
a quick reaction, yeah, and it could have saved Manny Monte from giving a penalty away for that flag going up. Has he contacted him? Yeah, of course he has, but is it a penalty? Well, you'd be happy with it, and you'd be disappointed getting it against you.
I have to say, he's been very good, the ref. He's been very good. I thought he's had a really good game.
Was he right in sending off Mark O'Brien's second yellow card? That's going to be a factor, isn't it, in the intervening minutes now?
Yeah, without a doubt. I think he was right. I think he just got caught the wrong side, got exposed in the channel, and he's made the foul, and yeah, I thought he was just sending off.
And Ryan, is it imperative that you use your substitutes in the right way to deal with this extra half an hour?
It is definitely, yes, certainly. Look, Tranmere have got the advantage now to send it off, which I think was foolish of O'Brien. He could have just left Norwood and tracked back and worked the socks off to get back. Advantage is obviously with Tranmere. The tired legs out there. I think Tranmere have got one more sub to make. You can see Newport making a substitution. If I'm Newport, I'm looking to get to penalties as quick as I possibly can. But Tranmere, Mickey Mellon, I'm looking to go for the jugular.
See Backinson coming on there, Danny. I mean, is this about fresh legs? Is it about fresh mentality for the player that comes on in extra time?
Yeah, I think the subs are going to have a huge part to play, aren't they? And Backinson is boy on loan from Bristol City, real athlete, got real good legs, so I can see why Michael Flynn's made that decision.
Okie dokie, for the extra time. Your commentary team once more, Danny Higginbottom, Gary Weaver.
Yes, cheers, David. So, Terry Backinson on to replace Josh Sheehan in that Newport County midfield. Into extra time we go. Newport down to 10. How much of an impact will that have on the team? We will find out. This is Ollie Banks finding Perkins. Dolan. Here's Butler. Podrick Hammond, who is now wearing the captain's armband for Newport since the sending off of Mark O'Brien. Atkinson allowed to run a long way. Eventually, Banks put a full stop to that. Were 10th in League Two in the final few moments of the season on the last day, and then Jamil Matt stepped up to level against Morecambe in the dying embers of that game, which put them into the playoffs. That's how tight it was on the final day, and they had to wait for news of what happened with Exeter against Forest Green. The news was good from a Newport perspective. Newport's budget, bottom 3 in League Two. Monte. That's Wilmot. Podrick Hammond away by McNulty. Wilmot again. Jamil Matt getting through plenty of work with his back to goal. Backinson. Regan Poole had made the move, and Poole unable to reach the ball. Newport's budget being bottom 3 in League 2, but the cut runs have made them well over £1 million, and it's been vital for Newport County. It's made life easier for them. They have a manager whose ambition is to manage at the highest level in the Premier League, and the resolve of keeping hold of Michael Flynn may well be tested in the summer. Caprice. Dan Butler, who's got through plenty of work at both ends of the pitch for Newport County. There's Jake Caprice again, and Jennings is caught offside. Well, Mark O'Brien's game is over, red-carded. He's watching on just inside the tunnel. And if the sound is up, we'll keep our voices down. No doubts about the 2 yellows though, Danny?
No, I don't think so. It's a horrible situation as a centre-back when you find yourself isolated against the centre-forward and he's got the turn on you. And more often than not, that's what you end up doing. And the inevitable then happens.
Thumping, robust challenge there by Ollie Banks. Plenty of steel to go with the silk, Ollie Banks. Used to be a kitchen fitter. You've got Steve McNulty, who was released by Liverpool and became a furniture delivery driver in the Tranmere ranks. Robbie Wilmot, playing for Newport County, who thought his professional days were over when he was released by Newport a few years ago, ended up working in the supermarket. Now here he is playing at Wembley. Righthouse. Perkins. Norwood just checked his run. Jennings. Norwood giving chase to this. Got too much on.
We've spoken about Michael Flynn as in terms of the friendships he has within the game, but it's likewise with Mickey Flynn. With Mickey Mellon, sorry, you know, he's written a book about the first 100 days of management. He's spoken to the likes of Allardyce, the likes of Moyes, Southgate, Benitez. You know, and it's a book that he says is very important. He's learned from it. It would be a great handbook for managers. And he said that, you know, if he can get it printed out, any money that they earn from it go to motor neuron disease. A good friend of his, Leonard John Rose, he's got motor neuron disease, so it'd be fantastic to see that happen, and it sounds like it would be a good book as in terms of experiences for managers as well.
Podrick Hammond. Monte getting across on the cover. But it's interesting because when we talk to managers ahead of games, when we have conversations, if they just come into clubs, I think the first question we always ask is, what do you do when you first take over? What do you look for? What do you try and change?
Well, he speaks about when you speak to managers, you know, and in particular with Mickey Mellon, he talks about in all businesses there are books about the first 100 days, but there's nothing like that in football, and it's so true. And he said that he's learned so much. You know, David Moyes speaking about his time at United, Sam Allardyce with England, Gareth Southgate with England, and there's so much that can be learned and gained because, you know, that's what a lot of managers do. They pick good things from managers and decide to leave other things alone.
Caprice on the stretch, he found Perkins. A reminder, Newport County are down to 10 men after the sending off of their captain Mark O'Brien. The cross from Rydhalgh. Perkins. Let's mention the first weeks that Michael Flynn had in charge of Newport County. He had to save them from relegation to non-league. They were 11 points adrift with 12 games to play. Somehow he and his team stayed up and kept the club in business. Now they're at the business end of the table and the business end of the playoffs, and bidding for a place in League One.
He's done a great job.
Banks. Norwood. Blocked by Dolan.
When you look at how Newport, they have lost a man. They're still playing with two up front. You have to give great credit to Michael Flynn. He's sticking with the two up front, hoping that he doesn't just want to be stuck in his own half. He wants to have that out ball for the likes of Jamil Matt and Amond as well when they can break out.
Rydhalgh is after this, and Joe Day was there. There was a big cry of keepers from Joe Day, and ultimately he made the right decision. Under-serving player in this Newport County team. Been there for over 4 years now, Joe Day. Highly sought-after keeper. Monte again. Poole. Adi Aziz will be coming on shortly for Newport County to try and stretch the game a little bit more. Those runs in behind the defence. We're hearing may well be Jamil Matt to make way. There might be a rethink we're hearing from the Newport County dugout. Our spies down there. Jennings looking to set Norwood away. Norwood wants a foul. Referee weighs the appeals away. It was Demetriou who came across his path.
Another big call. Once again, Norwood playing on the shoulder. He gates behind Demetriou. That's another one. It could be a foul. Demetriou's run across Norwood's path. Only thing possibly the referee, Ross Joyce, could be thinking is that he was going through to the goalkeeper Day.
Well, we're now hearing it will be Podrick Amond who will come off for Newport County. This is Norwood. Pringle inside the box, away by Bennett. Banks. Perkins. Pringle. Liam Rydhalgh. Pringle. Norwood. Might be another change of this Newport County substitute, by the way. Having a real old think on that Newport bench. We'll wait till the number goes up and we'll see. There's Perkins. Took a deflection, it's swept away. Demetriou again with the response, but nowhere to go for Newport County. McNulty. Ollie Banks. Rydhalgh has made the move on this side of the pitch, and the flag goes up. Waiting for the big reveal here. What the final outcome is. It's gone back to Jamil Matt. So Jamil Matt is off. Along comes Adi Aziz.
So you're right from the start.
Well, they had a rethink though. They thought about Patrick Hammond. And it is Jamil Matt who makes way. And Aziz comes on. Jamil Matt, who had that huge penalty call plus that effort on goal, which was kept out by Scott Davis. So Adi Aziz, who doesn't want to be known as an impact player, but when he does come on, he does usually make an impact. He is on. Bennett. Here is Aziz. Backinson. Diverted behind for a Newport County corner.
Big opportunities for Newport. They had to do more defending. They've been brave. They played with the two up front still. Enabled them to get the corner. The delivery's right. You know how good they've been on set pieces throughout the season.
Wilmot with that corner. Here goes Norwood. Right Howells digging his heels in. Likewise, Regan Poole. More frustration with James Norwood because Wright Howells didn't see he was behind him. Still nothing to choose between these two as we head towards the final few seconds of the first half of extra time. Tranmere have hesitated. Davis off his line before Aziz could make an impact. Into one additional minute. This is Perkins, who's won promotion a couple of times with Wigan. Caprice, Jennings. This should be the final act of the first half of extra time. McNulty stays back in the centre circle. Manny Monte is sent forward. Nelson's there. Banks is there. Norwood's at the near post. Goes towards the far post, and Monte got in the way of Wright Howells.
He did. Howells was coming onto the ball. He would have been able to get it back across goal. Miscommunication between the pair.
And that's the end of the first period of extra time. It remains 0-0.
It's all getting very nervy indeed. Ryan Lowe, Danny Cowley are alongside me for this one. Ryan, it's the final 15 minutes of the season for these two sides. What do you do? Sit back, wait for pens, or do you go for it?
I think Tranmere, for me, talking about them, I think they need to keep the ball a little bit more and working open, because they're down to 10 men, 9 outfield players. It's going to be tough for Newport to do that. If Tranmere can keep hold of the ball and contain possession in Newport's half, I fancy them to nick a goal because they've got a goal scorer on the pitch.
Danny, from your point of view, is it as much mental and emotional that the players have got to keep control of in this last 15 minutes? Yes, they'll be fatigued. Yes, physically they've put so much into not just the game, but the season as a whole. This is when you're looking for your strong characters, isn't it?
Without a doubt. It's been a really long, hard season for both teams. 46 games and then two playoff semi-finals, and now on a boiling hot day to get to extra time. It's very tough, and it is the mentally toughest will survive.
Do we look at Newport and think that because of how they had to get through the two-leg semi-final against Mansfield, if it does go to penalties, are the odds stacked in their favour?
Maybe. I think for Newport, they've got to play for restarts now. I think they've brought Adi Aziz on, looking for him to stretch the pitch, maybe get down the sides of McNulty, draw some corners or even some long throws, because that looks their threat. For Tranmere, they just need to get a bit more rhythm and a bit more flow in their game. And like Ryan says, if they can land on the ball and stay on the ball a little bit longer, I think gaps will be created.
Ryan, for you, have Tranmere made the most of this one-man advantage that they've got?
Well, yeah, they have, but they can make the most of it a little bit more. The final 15 minutes, I like to see them keep the ball a bit and keep clipping some balls over the top for Norwood, because you only need one chance, as we've seen before. One chance, one goal, and Tranmere can win.
Okie dokie. For the second half of extra time, this one feels like it's going to go all the way. Your commentary team, Danny Higginbottom and Gary Weaver.
Thanks, David. Keanu Marsh-Brown is coming on for Newport County. Off goes Robbie Wilmot. So Marsh-Brown, who can cause problems out wide, comes on to replace Robbie Wilmot at the start of the second period of extra time for Newport County. Wilmot's season is over, but the season of Newport County and the season of Tranmere Rovers still alive. The opportunity is still there.
No, it is, and it's another positive substitution. Newport, they don't want to sit back and bring the pressure from Tranmere. They want to try and take the game to Tranmere at times. They believe that Tranmere will probably commit a lot of men forward. It means that there could be spaces in behind to utilise the pace of the likes of Aziz and Marsh-Brown.
He does have previous against Tranmere. He won the National League playoff final a couple of years ago with Forest Green against Tranmere Rovers. Did Keanu Marsh-Brown. Newport on the move. Over the head of Aziz. There's Backinson. He has Banks for company. Lifted in by Backinson. Now Dolan. Could have seen that from Perkins and played the advantage. Marsh-Brown goes in low, and Davis was defending his near post.
It's a good save from Davis. He had to be alert, because when the ball goes out to Marsh-Brown, you're thinking he's going to put a cross in. And he goes for the shot and gets down quickly. Davis to make sure he goes behind for a corner. It's a smart save.
Absolutely everything here in this playoff final. At the moment we're heading towards penalties, unless there is a twist. Monte keeping an eye on Aziz. Jennings watching Podrick Hammond, who had the foresight to have his stag do a year ago, even though he's getting married next month, Podrick Hammond, because he thought there might be a playoff campaign. Marsh-Brown with that cross. Davis gets two hands on it. Away by Monte. Around about 12,000 Newport County fans here, plenty more watching at Rodney Parade this evening. Newport County's home ground, watching the usual routine from Demetriou. Here he is again. Marsh-Brown, who can have magic in those feet. Seen off that time by the ever-willing David Perkins. Norwood's on the move, and Norwood's got the ball. And that could spell trouble for Newport. Norwood took a deflection, which took it behind.
He's always a threat, Norwood. He always makes intelligent runs out wide. This time it's Butler. Butler's had a very impressive game. Sends Norwood inside, holds him up. It's wonderful defending. Sends the shot out wide for the corner.
Ollie Banks is trying to lose Bennett in the middle. And the referee gives the free kick Newport County's way. There are a few decisions to have a look at there. The one he's pulled up is the foul on Demetriou.
Nelson gets away from his man initially. He gets away from Bennett. Then Dimitri just at that near post. So just barges into him.
Monte. Pringle. Marsh-Brown. Perkins looking to step in and helped out by Jennings, but committing the foul. Someone asked a few questions when David Perkins was brought in by Tranmere in January, but they wanted to go for EFL experience. It was a big window for them in January in terms of who they brought in to push themselves on. They saw the opportunity that they could be in the playoff shake-up. And Perkins, one of those who was added to the ranks. McNulty just stands his ground.
That's what you call experience.
Went great when he was 19, Steve McNulty. He knows the way to the winner's podium when it comes to the playoffs.
They had a great time at Luton, didn't they? And a very experienced player, good on the ball as well. And because of his age, the experience that he's got, he knows to get into the right positions.
Pringle. There's Jennings. Norwood. Perkins on the approach. Pringle. It's Ollie Banks. He can hit them. We've seen that before, but this time he couldn't find the target.
Now, similar position to the goal against Forest Green as well, and it falls nicely for him. You can imagine that goal's going through his head. He strikes it well. Just see, once he takes a slightest bobble up as he hits it, and it's always right.
Head-to-head this season, they did finish goalless at Rodney Parade, these two. Newport won at Tranmere, which doesn't happen often at Prenton Park. Tranmere being beaten of late in the last few years. But now this is the one that matters the most. And Jennings not too impressed with the challenge by Regan Poole. Looking on the way for the man on loan from Manchester United.
Happy with the challenge, Jennings. That's right, it's a poor challenge from Poole. The ball's gone. I'll try and give him the benefit of the doubt, Poole, and say it's a tired challenge.
Monte giving chase to this. Perkins. Banks couldn't quite direct it back into the path of Perkins. Seven and a half minutes away from penalties. Tranmere's only playoff final win came in 1991 when they beat Bolton under their legendary manager Johnny King, and that came after they lost the year before to Notts County. And Johnny King spoke to then Notts County manager Neil Warnock and said, "What did you do to make your players so relaxed?" Neil Warnock said, "I took them to the Belfry, played golf, played tennis, didn't talk about football." So the next year Johnny King did the same thing and Tranmere won. An absolute icon. And Tranmere Adam Buxton will be coming on shortly with Tranmere Rovers. Marsh Brown fizzed in and dealt with by Davis. Whitehouse stepping across the path of Keanu Marsh Brown before he could do any more damage.
And once again, Newport, when they're going forward, they're not afraid to commit men forward, even though they're a man down, picking up knockdowns. This time off Aziz. It's a good strike, Marsh Brown, but once again, Davis equal to it.
So here comes the change. Adam Buxton, versatile defender, coming on to replace Sid Nelson. In by Dimitriou, away by Monte. Whitehouse and Marsh Brown coming together there. There's Norwood. Pringle screaming for it on this side of the pitch. He couldn't find it. Dolan, who, as I mentioned earlier, scored the winning penalty in the shootout at the One Call Stadium in Mansfield a couple of weeks ago to send Newport County here. Monte. Ollie Banks is back on his feet. David Perkins, who needs to be careful, he's already been yellow carded. Not impressed that that decision has just been given against him as Aziz picks himself back up.
It's a good spot from the referee, Ross Joyce. You just see Perkins, just as the ball goes past him, just gives Aziz a little pull on his shirt. That's why the referee brings it back for a free kick to Newport.
It was more the reaction he had to be careful with there, David Perkins. Dolan fires that free kick in. Banks in the way. The 10 men of Newport County are hanging on in there. A club which has been built on steel, on grit, on defiance. A club which rose from the ashes after going bust. It took them 25 years to get back into the English Football League. But they did it with the will of the fans. Dimitriou, who will sleep well tonight, slinging that ball in again. Joe Day venturing off his line, never in any real bother. McNulty. Whitehouse. Regan Poole. 3 minutes away from penalties. Pringle. Jennings, now Caprice. Jennings. Caprice. Now it's Ollie Banks. Banks with the cross. Norwood got across his man. And Day got across his goal.
And they were patient. They waited to get the cross in. It's a good run from Norwood. He gets across Bennett. It was always going to be difficult to steer it back towards goal. But nonetheless, still very well to get his header towards target.
And it's been some rise for James Norwood. Hooks of Palace and Brighton. A trial at Exeter. And during his trial game, he was on the bench. Paul Tisdale looked around. James Norwood was hungry. He'd gone off to the hot dog stand. Paul Tisdale went absolutely crazy with him, but he still managed to win a contract. It's been an incredible season. He's looking for the incredible finish here this afternoon at Wembley. You look to your left hand in a few moments, I'm not here, you know where it's gone.
Whatever you get, you get one as well.
Caprice. This is Buxton. Away from Backinson. This is Pringle. Now Caprice. Caprice with the cross. The header. It's in. It's Connor Jennings. Tranmere Rovers, whose double dip led to their world caving in, could be getting back to where they were in double quick time. If that's the winner, that's the way to win it. At the place to win it.
Well, he shouldn't have played last season. He climbed off his hospital bed and he scored, created the winner. This year, he's gone one better. This could well be the winner. And Tranmere, we haven't really asked too many questions of Newport, but then the one bit of quality that comes into the box from Caprice, it's a wonderful ball in. And who's waiting at the far post? Thank you very much. It's Connor Jennings. What a time to score so late on in the game. And what an experience and what a reaction.
Mike Dean can't quite believe it, but his beloved Tranmere Rovers are standing at the gateway to League One after all they've been through. Pandemonium amongst the travelling Prenton Park army. 2 additional minutes. Newport have to dig deep now. They've dug deep before and they've came up with the answer. They have to show the same determination now to keep their hopes, their dreams alive. Manny Monte, this is McNulty. No middle ground in the playoffs. Newport about to feel the pain of a playoff defeat. That looked like handball there by Perkins. It was. He scooped it away. It's a free kick to Newport County. 1 minute to save themselves.
Well, one chance to save themselves as well. You see, it comes up, Perkins with his right arm. Whether it was the time for Newport to get the perfect set piece, and this has to be it.
Keanu Marsh-Brown with eyes on it. Whether it comes early or comes late, there is always a twist in the playoffs. Sent in by Dolan. McNulty was there. Day is forward and waiting. And he stays forward. The whistle hasn't gone yet. I'm not sure if Mike Dean's just brought his own. And James Norwood commits the foul. And Newport County will have another free kick. And this will surely be it. Joe Day remains forward. Day has eyes on it. McNulty was behind him. Demetriou. Redemption for Tranmere Rovers. They're back in League One. The wound's healed. The road back was long, but they have walked it. It was fraught with danger, but they've made their way through. And this club, which was broken, have got back. Connor Jennings, the man who stepped up and delivered when it mattered most. He has written his legend on Wembley soil.
He has done just that. To be in a hospital bed before the playoff final last season, to come on and have the assist for the winner, you think to yourself, can it get any better than that? Does it get any better than that? Well, for Connor Jennings, he's just got a whole lot better than that this afternoon. Give great credit as well to Newport. They kept going, they didn't sit back, they committed men forward, and you can see the hurt, the disappointment, and when there are heroes, there will always be disappointment. It's Tranmere's day, but Newport have played a huge part in the game.
Well, it's been an incredible season for Michael Flynn and Newport County. It ends in tears at Wembley. But for Tranmere Rovers, they can plan for life back in League One. Mark Palios, the man who bought the club, the ex-Tranmere player, the Tranmere fan, he bought the club. He rebuilt them with the help of Mickey Mellon and Gary Brabham before him. And Tranmere now are back in League One, back where they were when their football world caved in a few years ago. Ben Pringle came on and made a huge difference, buzzed around the pitch, played a big part. But Newport County going to their fans away to our left, but there's Tranmere's most famous fan inside Wembley, Mike Dean, surrounded by hordes of travelling Tranmere Rovers fans. Mickey Mellon raced across the pitch when the final whistle blew here a year ago. There was so much pressure on that particular playoff, not so much maybe this time around, but once again Mickey Mellon, who took Shrewsbury Town to the third tier of English football, has now done it with Tranmere Rovers, and he's across to shake the hands of the Newport County players.
Yeah, the mutual respect between both sets of players as well. All players, Tranmere players, yes, they're celebrating, but first and foremost they went up to the Newport players to give their commiserations. But what a season it's been for Tranmere, unbelievable. The players have risen to the occasion, some unlikely heroes. Well, I'm sure they'll enjoy this evening.
Well, let's get some reaction. Let's hear from Scott Davis, the man who kept Newport out, and the man who scored the winner for Tranmere Rovers. Tranmere Rovers.
Congratulations, you two. What a time to win it. Connor, sum up your emotions after that.
Pretty speechless, to be fair. But we gave everything, and we knew it was coming. We just fair play to them too. That team though, they were brilliant. But it took us to the last minute, so happy to score.
Scott, were you mentally preparing yourself for penalties there?
Yeah, obviously you've got to, but honestly, I'm so proud of these boys. You know, we were wrote off. Everyone wrote us off at Christmas, and I told everyone we're below our level. We've been playing below our level for years, and everyone's showed it now. Everyone's showed it now. I couldn't be more proud. Sorry.
Apologies to anyone offended by the language there, but Scott, you made a crucial save from Jamil Matt onto the post. What do you remember of that one? Must feel like a long time ago now.
Yeah, it's a draining game, emotionally as well. One of them, that's why we work so hard, for them moments. To be here, in front of that, like I say, I'm proud of the boys.
Successive promotions, what does it mean to make it to League One, Connor?
It's brilliant, you know. So we've done back-to-back. It's some achievement, and fair play to the boys, all the staff and all the fans.
And now you get your hands on that trophy, Scott.
Can't wait. It's been a long season. It's been a long few years. Now who's laughing?
Well done, Scott. If you do the honours, please. Connor Jennings is the Sky Bet Man of the match.
Well, this really is the thrill of the playoffs. A last-minute injury extra time winner for Mickey Mellon's men has ensured their promotion back to Sky Bet League One. Newport, you've got to feel for them, battled so hard, down to 10 men going into extra time. Ryan Lowe, Danny Cowley, two men who know all about promotion, have done it in a slightly less stressful way, going up automatically. Sum up the day so far, Ryan.
Oh, unbelievable. Listen, I'm over the moon for Tranmere. They're place in my heart, but I feel for Newport and Mickey Flynn. They've been unbelievable what they've done. But for me, Connor Jennings, we said if he gets closer to Norwood, he's a threat at goal, and that's what he's proved to do. So
we'll him off with the fellas in just a second. But Mickey Mellon is now talking to Jonathan Oates.
Mickey, many congratulations. Can you sum up this moment?
Oh, just look at that. I mean, that's what it's all about, isn't it? I mean, let's give every credit to both sets of players. Newport kept fighting, made it a really tough game at this stage of the season. It was a bit of a slug out at the end, but we're delighted it came in our end in the end. Well, every credit to both sets of players. They kept going and going and going, and we're just pleased it came out in our end.
Was there any more fitting?
Pleased it came.
What he's gone through to get that winner in the last minute of extra time.
That's what football's all about. lovely stories, isn't it? And for him to get that one, we're obviously absolutely delighted for him and all his family for what they've came through. So a fantastic moment for him.
And what's the secret with you? Because the playoffs is certainly something you have the Midas touch with, back-to-back promotions. What is the secret?
Say that again.
What's the secret? Back-to-back promotions.
I like that. Thank you. No, I'm absolutely delighted. Listen, we're only here to try and get the best out of the players. That's what we do. We're very, very clear about that. We make sure we try and get the most out. And they gave me everything they had. From Christmas time, we had a right good go at it. And now to get over the line, we're absolutely made up.
When Tranmere had a fall from grace as they did, to do what you've done now, how much hard work has gone in, not just from you, but for everybody involved in the club?
Well, listen, I say all the time, Gary Brabin started the turnaround. He takes a lot of credit. He stopped at the rot, if you like. He turned it around and brought a lot of these players here. I just carried it on, but delighted to be able to carry such a good group of players on with big, massive hearts, and I've managed to deliver again.
Go and enjoy those celebrations. Back-to-back promotions.
Cheers. Thank you very much. See that again.
David Craig with the questions there, of course. Mickey Mellon absolutely delighted. And those words ringing in his ears, Danny. Back-to-back promotions. Just sum up what an amazing job he's done.
Unbelievable achievement. To get promoted back-to-back is a phenomenal effort. He deserves all the credit that he's going to get.
And from the point of view of sticking in the game, yes, they did have an extra man for the last part of the game, right? It was still really, really close, wasn't it, between both sides?
It was very tight. We were saying who's going to come out on top. Was it going to be a set play? Was it going to be football? And you're seeing there, I think that was the best passage of play Tranmere have played, especially in the last quarter, in the extra time, I would have thought. And it's a great delivery. And who's in there to put the ball in the back of the net? Conor Jennings.
They've certainly got players and a management staff, Danny, that really enjoy coming to Wembley now, don't they? They might have lost the first time, but the last two times they've come away with the win.
Yeah, they like it here. They've had wonderful home form all season, and wonderful form at Wembley as well. So no, that's great for them. You know, I think it was a really tight game. Both sets of players gave their absolute all. It just so happened Buxton come on with maybe 5 minutes to go. I don't know if they were getting him ready to take a penalty, but it was actually him who entered the area, and then Caprice got round, and it was a brilliant delivery from Caprice, and Jennings on the back post with a really good header at a really good time.
We'll look at it in depth in due course, but Newport County, you can see the disappointment on the players' faces. They're all around us here pitchside as they watch Tranmere climb the steps to go and receive the trophy. I mean, at the start of the season, we didn't think they would be anywhere near here, did we?
No, listen, they're going to be disappointed tonight, but they need to take a lot of credit because they've been hard working all season. When they beat us not long ago with about 6 games to go at their place, and he said to me, Michael Flynn, we're going to get in the playoffs because the lad, the attitude, the desire, the commitment. So fair play to them. Look, they've lost today, they haven't gone up the leagues, but what an unbelievable job every single one of them players have done, and certainly the manager. They've got to take a lot of credit because where they've been to where they are now, they're on the horizon.
From the point of view, I mean, you fellas have been in the position where you can celebrate. Yes, there's bigger fish to fry come next season, but right now, Danny, this is about being able to enjoy the moment, isn't it?
Oh, definitely. Well, no doubt they had a good night out this time last year, and they know exactly where to go out in London. But no, they're gonna enjoy it, and rightly so, because it's a long season. If it finishes on the 4th of May, let alone finishing today. So full credit to Tranmere. You know, they've had a remarkable 2 years, and I know Mickey Mellon is trying to share the credit, but what an unbelievable job he has done to turn the fortunes of what is a really big club in Tranmere.
OK, for the celebrations, for Tranmere Rovers celebrations, Danny Higginbottom, Gary Weaver.
And it's the club captain, Steve McNulty, who is first up onto the royal balcony. Another promotion on his CV, promotion number 6. Mark Palios being hugged by the Tranmere players. I remember a Tranmere fan, and when they won the playoffs last year, rang up Mark Palios 1 in the morning. Can you open a social club? We want to celebrate at the ground. So he did. Not many clubs can do that. But he bought the club a few years ago, and he was hoping for moments like this, and Tranmere have moments like this. Tranmere Rovers, a club in ruins, now a club reborn. They tell League One, we are back. They stand in the royal boxes for the royal boxes.
Jennings give
As wide as the Mersey. It's job done, and it's some job done.
Oh, it is. Mickey Mellon, he calls himself the salesman. because he says he needs to sell ideas to players. Well, the players bought into the ideas and they're getting their just rewards. What an incredible couple of seasons it's been for this team, and more importantly, the main man behind it all. He doesn't want to take any credit. He stays in the background, but he deserves as much credit as the players who are picking up the trophy.
And we just saw James Norwood lift the trophy there. He's got a big decision to make now. The likes of Ipswich and Swansea have been chasing him, but now he is going to be in League One next season with Tranmere Rovers. Double promotion has been taken care of. The vibe is back at Prenton Park. There have been some electric nights, electric days at Tranmere Rovers in the past, and those that wear that Tranmere badge, that stand amongst giants, are standing tall amongst giants again here this afternoon. Tranmere Rovers are back in League One.
Well, it's a phenomenal end to a phenomenal season for Tranmere Rovers. We asked Mickey Mellon about back-to-back promotions. The words ringing in his ear, enjoying every single moment of this. Tranmere Rovers, not just Tranmere Rovers players on the pitch, former players within the hierarchy of the club, has seen this wonderful team return back to League One. Well, the domestic football season may be inching towards its dramatic climax, but there's still plenty of action on Sky Sports Football to keep you entertained over the next couple of months. Gareth Southgate takes his England side over to Portugal for the Nations League finals. That's the 5th till the 9th of June. Qualifiers for next year's European Championships are live on Sky Sports Football from the 5th till the 11th. Eddie Boothroyd's Young Lions head over to Italy to contest the UEFA Under-21 Euros. Expectations levels are high for our talented group of young players, and the build-up to the new Premier League season begins with the Asia Trophy in July. Manchester City amongst the participants as they plot the defence of their Premier League crown. It's back-to-back promotions for Tranmere Rovers. They've left League Two. Next season, they'll be playing League One football. All the analysis coming next.